Just kidding. Hear any of that? Hello, everyone. We're here.
Oh, and I can hear. Are we
We're
live?
We are live, girl. You came just in time. We're live. Hi.
Right? I was surprised when I saw her picture there. I was like, oh, we're here.
We are here.
Hi. Sorry I'm late.
Guys, this did not take us 2 years this time.
Yep.
I mean, the bar's still in hell from the last time, but we met it.
Lit.
How's everyone in the chat doing?
All right, if you feel weird, you can turn your camera off because I'm definitely not gonna. I'm not in camera mode today.
Oh, I'm already.
I took the effort to do all of this, so we're
I
just
like your background, your YouTube button and Shogun.
Thanks.
Let's
I
go.
got this from YouTube, guys. Gave me
cool.
a little light.
So is it just gonna be?
Oh, and I got a free Domino's pizza.
Cute.
I have a free Domino's pizza because apparently we're shills, but we'll get into that from YouTube. I got a Domino's pizza coupon and a cheap little LED light.
So Arah can be on camera in her cute little biracial space buns.
Oh gosh.
I can be off camera in my bonnet, which I threw on during the intro song. And MJ, what you wearing, girl?
It's just a bun.
Okay.
Really bad bun.
Messy bun. I feel you.
I do want to say a couple shout outs real quick. Shout out to John Haymaker. Shogun was a great program. Did you guys see? Shout out to Fernando too, talking about Shogun. Most of Emmys won in one night. I believe it was 14 Emmys. And the main show hasn't even begun yet.
I was going to say, I've really only seen you post about it. Like, I haven't seen it advertised or anything.
That was big.
Phenomenal. Phenomenal.
Okay.
Phenomenal show. If you guys have not watched Shogun, I highly recommend it. It was originally supposed to be just one season, but they decided to greenlight 2 and 3 seasons, I believe, of the show.
I mean, why not, right?
I mean, granted, it's based off of one book, and there's not additional material, and we know sometimes when you don't have a lot of source material, it can be a little different and difficult, You guys, we're gonna talk about the blog post. Don't worry, we're getting there. You didn't realize I'm like sprinkling the seeds.
The blog
post, guys.
But
first, hello everyone.
Hey everyone, we're going to be talking about our season 3 predictions, what we think is going to happen season 3, what we think the writers are writing, what they should be writing based off of Fire and Blood. So this stream will have spoilers for Fire and Blood. Sorry.
Not sorry.
Yeah.
Also, we have memberships on the channel, so like you can join the channel, get a membership, and I think you get like custom emojis and stuff.
Yes, you guys get custom emojis. You get early access. We are going to be doing some different content for you guys soon. So if you are a member, you'll get early access to that content.
And I see Grey Waste Tim in here, and he's going to be doing a collab with us. We're going to be talking about Blood Raven.
Oh, yeah. We have a lot of fun stuff coming down the pipeline for you guys. I cannot wait. Oh,
including, I don't know. I don't want to spoil anything too soon. I don't want to speak too soon. But, we might, all the Infinity Stones might get back together sooner than later.
Oh, I think it's do it now.
Maybe. Don't want to speak too soon.
Might be 4 squares.
When she does come back, let's just drop her in a stream like Beyonce did Lemonade. Just like don't say anything.
Nope.
Just surprise people.
I mean, she is Beyonce, but our Beyonce.
I call Kelly. Okay. Should we?
Well, where does that leave us? Anyways, I was like, well, where does that leave us? But let's back to what we actually came here for. So yeah, tonight we are talking about some season 3 predictions, like Gray Area said, as well as the blog post, since that's what everybody's talking about. And I have some things I have to get off my chest, and I think we all do about that. But
Mm.
before we get there, what is everybody most excited for season 3? Like, what are you anticipating the most?
I'm most excited for season 3. So I'm excited about a lot because season 3 there should be a lot. Like when we talk about battles, and everybody was like, "Oh my God, there's no battles. It's boring. People are just talking in rooms," as if that's not Game of Thrones. But when you think about the battles, there's gonna be some pretty epic battles, like the Battle of the Gullet, the Honey Wine, the Fall of King's Landing, the fish feed could make it. Like there could potentially be about 4 battles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and as Tim said, the Red Kraken coming through, messing up shit for everybody. Very excited for that. So the battles.
Yeah, for me, I'm going with China Moon here. Alice Rivers and Aemond dynamic. That's what I'm most excited for. Like the Luigi's Mansion that was Damon's experience this season. I will say I did do a binge watch after everything ended, and I did like the Harrenhal stuff a lot more after it was all completed.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to see Aemond and Criston Cole's adventures in Harrenhal. Alice is going to be like all in their heads, messing with them. I'm so excited. I hope we get to see Luke. Luke has to haunt Aemond. If I don't see Luke Harris on my screen, I will be highly upset.
Yeah, I need to see Aemond and Alicent do the deed, because if I had to suffer through watching Damon do the deed with his mother, I want to suffer through Aemond doing the deed with his mother. Since Aemond is the one that actually has the mommy issues.
Sidebar. This is what I'm most excited for, the Alice and Aemond relationship. Yes, Adam. I don't know if it's a good relationship. I think it's highly toxic, but I'm excited for all of it because it's going to be full of drama and they're both queens. Alisha, what are you most excited for?
Mine's complicated because I don't know if I'm like excited, like, yes, I want this thing to happen, because it's weird because I can't wait to see it, but I don't, like, my heart's not ready for it to happen. I think the Gullet is going to be very heartbreaking, but very amazing television.
Oh, you know what? Speaking of the Gullet, where do we think season 3 is going to start and end?
I definitely think it starts with the Gullet. You had Corlys and Alan joining the blockade in the last episode, and you also had the Triarchy crossing the Narrow Sea. So Gullet has to be pretty imminent, possibly even first episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I highly agree. I think they're going to open with the Gullet, mostly because, let's just be honest and transparent here. Season 2 wasn't received with the most enthusiasm on the whole. Like, viewership is down. There's a lot of, like, don't get me wrong, Twitter roast can be really toxic within itself at times, but this season was like new heights of toxicity and a lot of heavy criticism towards this season, which, in my opinion, it had it coming. So I can see season 3, they're going to want to do that with a bang to really capture everybody right off the top. So opening with a Gullet, I think would probably be a smart move.
Not to be contrarian to you two, but I actually can see the Gullet being in episode 2, because I can see the closing scene of season 1 reminding us of, or being the Triarchy closing in on Aegon and Viserys and the gay abandon.
Yeah, I mean, I think that can all. I think it being episode 2 is a possibility. I just don't see how they would drag it out into a second like I feel like they put it at the last 20 minutes of episode 1, 20 to 30 minutes, so they have time to do the gay abandon and all that stuff in the beginning of the episode, because they have everybody.
I suppose that does make sense, because, sorry, I apologize.
No, I was just gonna say, because they had everybody like dressing for the war. Like they had
yeah.
the Dragonseeds
Mount
dressing,
up.
they had Damon armored leaving Harrenhal. And I was
Yeah.
wondering, like, do you guys think that Damon is going to be at the Gullet? Because he's not, but is he going to be? Because where is he going? Is he going straight to King's Landing?
So,
I'll go, Alisha.
well, what I was going to say before I accidentally cut off MJ was basically what you said, MJ, like that realization, like, okay, well, you can't just sit on the Dragonseeds for a whole other episode, because I believe the Gullet is the first battle that the Dragonseeds see at all, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I would agree. Just because you can't.
Yeah, actually, Comrade Sleaze and Fernando were having a discussion in the chat that I wanted to bring up. Another good question. Season 3, is it getting 8 episodes or is it getting 10?
I heard 8.
Yeah. I've been seeing 8 as well floating around. I personally, I'm not a fan of 8 episode seasons. I'll just be honest. I don't like 8 episode seasons. I like a good 10 or a 12.
I'm not a fan
I'm a 10
of,
to a 12 girl. But
I'm not a fan of 8 episode seasons either. I feel like what really fucked up House of the Dragon was when they decided to make it 8 episodes.
Yeah.
They let them write it for a year, and then right before filming, they said, "Oh, we got to make it 8 episodes now." So they had 2 months, if that, to make any changes to the work that they had already been doing for a year. So if it's going to be 8 episodes, at least they know in the beginning that it's going to be 8 episodes. But I really wish that it would be 10. George R.R. Martin has said it needs to, he said it needs to be 13. He said, but 10, 4 seasons of 10 would do it justice, would get it done right.
I just want to say what Jackie said here. It really should be at least 10, like you were saying.
So I guess I just don't understand HBO, because it's not like they haven't had really great shows in the past. I mean, like, Sopranos was like it before Game of Thrones was really conceptualized by David and Dan to be adapted. However, Game of Thrones was their top cash cow. They made so many mistakes towards the end with Game of Thrones. You would think they would have learned from making season 7 and 8, 7 and 6 episodes respectively.
So, well, in fairness, in fairness, HBO didn't want it to be 7 and 6 episodes.
It was a David and Dan thing.
That was a David and Dan thing. HBO was like, "Hey, we want to give you unlimited money to make Game of Thrones end correctly. Are you sure you can do it in 13 episodes?" And they were like, "Yeah, we can." But they were literally willing to give them all kinds of money. Now, since House of the Dragon got greenlit and all that stuff, HBO merged with Warner Brothers. And that's where the issues really start. And that merger didn't go through till after House of the Dragon. Like, the merger wasn't finalized until House of the Dragon season 1 was already out. So it was definitely them that said, no, 8 episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can believe that, because I'll be honest, on the creator side of things, if you're wondering who you're going to get a copyright hit from, it's probably Warner Brothers. No offense.
Yeah.
But
no offense.
So I guess
we're helping promote we're promoting your content. You would think you would want us to help you out, but anyways, that's another hill to die on. But I
guess
my whole to say something.
Well, my whole thing, when you think about season 2 as a whole, individually, the episodes were great. You put them all together and try to make a conducive season, it fell flat. Because 8 episodes.
8 episodes, because in my personal opinion, I think a 3-act structure is the most ideal for any story. That's what they teach you in basic, story and like writing classes.
And they cut us right at the 3rd act.
Exactly. Like, the 3rd act of the season. That's why people are like, even though I really do hate when people say nothing happened. I'm sorry, my mom Princess Rhaenys died. I'm
Yeah.
still mourning. Things
That-
happened. Okay.
That
And-
was probably the
Okay.
And that was one of the best episodes. That and Rhaenyra the Cruel was one of the, like, they were two of my favorite episodes ever. Like, how, even including Game of Thrones.
which is why I say individually the episodes were great, just not as a season.
I don't think it was as bad as people are dragging it, though. Like, I really don't.
Yeah.
I wanted
Same.
more. I guess it was like building. Like, yes, Rhaenys, the episode she died was absolutely amazing, but that was halfway through the season. And then the rest was like building. And then
Kind of what
tune in
Carrie's
next
saying.
season.
First half was great. Second half was meh.
Meh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would
mean,
say
I kind of think the placement of Rook's Rest, if I was the writer and they told me, like, okay, you have 2 months to write this shit over because we're gonna cut 10 of your episodes, or 2 of your episodes, essentially 2 hours of your content, I would just go ahead and reform it to push Rook's Rest all the way back to episode 7, and I would have showed more of Criston Cole taking the Crown Land. Like, I would have actually shown the battles instead of seeing the aftermath. I would have shown the battle of the Burning Mill, even though I thought the way they did it was great. But if you know that you're gonna be losing your third act, you're gonna just make something else your third act and push it back.
Well, not only that, but, and correct me if I'm wrong, from the top of my head, I believe after Criston Cole leaves Harrenhal, he doesn't really see a whole lot of noteworthy action. They have been building Criston Cole up as this very dangerous strategic mind for 2 seasons. So I would have liked to, I'm excited for it too, but him messing up the Crown Lands, I agree with you.
Sorry.
I agree with you, MJ. They should have shown more of that, because after this, it's just going to be Harrenhal, and then boom, Roddy the Ruin ruining Criston.
All right, actually, now that we're kind of there, where do you guys think the season will end for season 3? So we're kind of thinking Battle
Dude, I
of the
don't even
Gullet,
know
kind of the
anymore.
season 1. What wild guess? Any wild guesses that you would take?
It's gonna be Aegon getting, like, taking off his hood and surprise. No, we can't do it that way, can we?
No, but
You know
I think it may be as like a surprise Sunfire,
Yeah, something like that. Something to do with Aegon.
like at Dragonstone. Aegon going to Dragonstone, because gonna consider that Rhaenyra is gonna be gone from Dragonstone and already have taken King's Landing. Definitely not gonna get God's Eye season 3.
Oh,
I think
no,
God's
that's
Eye is
season 4.
definitely a season 4 thing.
What wasn't the big reveal in the books when?
But I don't know though, because George said Helena's gonna die this season.
Actually, I'm glad you brought that up.
Well,
Let's talk
that's a
about
good
it.
segue.
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about Papa. By that I mean
Papa,
George.
can you hear me?
Sorry, that
So
was great, Alisha.
Let's
George crashed out. He's
Okay.
over it. He's over HBO. He's over Ryan Condal. He's over everybody.
You know what though? Like, I guess I don't have big feelings one way or another about his blog. First of all, because I remember y'all actually sent it in the group chat. I was busy at
Oh, I
work.
did.
You know, I
Sent
didn't
it
have the
early.
chance. I didn't have the chance to sit down and read it. And by the time I did, he removed it. And I was like, no. I did catch pieces of it. He did kind of spoil Helena's not long for this world after this next season. I think that he's the writer. He has, in some ways, I'm like, nobody knows this material better than him. I'm not going to nitpick about him getting frustrated. I don't want to necessarily say, like, well, you should have known because you sold the rights to this story, However, here's what I will ask. Did he sell the rights to this story after David and Dan fucked up Game of Thrones? Or did he just sign off his material in general to HBO?
So
I believe when they originally did it.
Yes and no. So yes, he sold the rights to everything Westeros in 2007. So when they acquired A Song of Ice and Fire, he sold the rights, the film rights, to everything in Westeros. Not the characters though. So like they couldn't do the Dance of Dragons unless George sold them that story. But George couldn't do it without, like, if he did it on his own, like the rights were still with him, but if he did it on his own, like sold the film rights to somebody else, they couldn't mention anything in Westeros. So no House Targaryen, no Westeros, no King's Landing, none of the things that make Westeros Westeros.
So then there's no point to the story.
So there's no point, right? But he did sell it afterwards.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah, so
that makes more sense. I would say no matter what, it's his story. Whatever big feelings he has about it, he has the right to feel those big feelings. That's where I stand with it. I do find it very interesting that he revealed that Helaena indeed did it herself, because that makes me feel like, oh, go ahead.
No, keep going, because I'm gonna riff off of what you're saying.
That kind of makes me wonder if they are going to introduce Maelor, because remember, one of the speculations was, someone had told Mysaria had told Helaena about Maelor's death, and then not long after that, Helaena had apparently jumped. I always believed she was pushed.
So I thought she was pushed to specifically by Larys, but he said in the blog post, he was like, Ryan's not going to kill her for no particular reason. Like it's he was basically saying that that Maelor's not going to be a thing, and like he doesn't know why she's going to kill herself, and he doesn't think Ryan knows either.
What I do like that
it was brutal.
First of all, what I did like is that so Helaena killed herself as canon. Just kind of confirmed it, if you really think about it, because he mentions how obviously the death of Maelor is what finally pushes her over the edge, at least within the world of Fire and Blood, within the pages of this of Westeros. So that was interesting. I did want to point out, I'm so sorry, thank you, Tim, I was going to bring this up as well. According to George's writer friend I might be pronouncing this wrong, I'm sorry, Ziron J. Zhao, HBO hasn't listened to him seriously for years. So I kind of wanted to talk about that.
Yeah.
I am for him calling them out. I think he should have called out Dan and Dave. I understand.
That's what fucked me out.
So the reason why I see where he's at now, George is older. He's older. COVID did it. Sorry, pandemic. They put things on your videos when you use that word for some reason. I don't understand. But anyways, when that pandemic happened, George, like many of us, lost a lot of people that he was close to, and when you go through that amount of loss, you can become depressed and sad and lose parts of your creativity and that light that you, at least for me, I know it's easier for me to create when I'm in a more positive mindset and I'm in a more light space or energetically within my life. Granted, I am not George. I'm nowhere near George's level of talent, so I'm just throwing that out there. But I say that to say this. As a creative, it's easier when you're in a good space. When you're clearly not in a good space mentally, and George has said it multiple times, he's not in a good spot mentally at all. Like he's been going through a lot. In his recent posts, he even mentioned he wasn't feeling well, not like emotionally not feeling well. So him getting to a point where he is just so fed up and just so done with being ignored, and is like, you know what? After what they just did to my baby, after those people assassinated my baby, which was Game of Thrones season 7 and 8, maybe some before that, but you know what I mean. before they just did that. I'm watching them take that same path again, and he probably had all these assurances that they were not going to do that, and he can see that they're doing that and they're not listening to him. So if he
Yeah.
has to take that extreme where he's like, you know what, I'm gonna get you guys to listen, throwing that Helena thing in there. Book readers, we knew Helena was gonna die. I mean, we made jokes when we brought up the spike thing. I think Alisha brought up in one of the episodes. There was
I
some
would
foreshadowing.
never, did I?
Oh, it might have been MJ.
No, I probably
Somebody,
did. Yeah.
I don't know. Somebody brought it
Mm.
up. Anyways, like we've even discussed Helena's going to eventually, fall out a window. So it's not like it's a big, I don't know, deal. I guess like, all right, really revealing it came in season 3 instead of season 4, which also Helena's death kind of kickstarts, Rhaenyra's downfall. So it's like,
I believe
how
Helena's
facing now. So like I don't know. I'm just here for him finally being like, I'm done being ignored. You guys are gonna take me seriously, and yeah, I'm for it.
That's where I am at with it too. Like I can totally see the frustration with like, well, if you had this in you, why didn't you do it with David and Dan? At the same time, there's a reason the phrase straw that broke the camel's back exists. Because I think he's got some Game of Thrones PTSD, and he'll be damned if it happens again. But now that I'm sitting and thinking about it, the way that they changed Helena's character, and he's praised the way that they've changed Helena's character before. He's definitely praised the actress, but after Jaehaerys was murdered, I should say, Helena was just kind of like, oh, I just want my crickets, and so with that said, it's hard to think about what would be so sad for her that she would just decide to end it all. And honestly, when I think about it, with George saying, I don't even think Ryan knows, I think she's just gonna randomly jump, to be honest. She's just gonna be like, okay, I've said all the creepy cryptic things, my part here is done.
He's got a point. When he brought up Helena in the books, obviously she had that Sophie's Choice so in the book Blood and Cheese, the Blood and Cheese scenario, they're way more cruel in the book than they were in the show. We talked about that during the episode. I'm not going to go over all that here. Watch our episode 2 playback. Anyways, yeah, you can have my jewelry versus take my life instead. Do not kill my children. Yeah, there's a lot more gravity when you're offering your own self instead. And like I don't know. I'm with George, because a lot of those complaints are pretty solid complaints, and they're complaints that we also made. So like,
for me, sorry.
I was just gonna talk. You can talk about Blood and Cheese. Go ahead. I'll just go back to the blog post.
For me, Blood and Cheese, and this is a personal thing, and I realize I do not speak for the whole fandom, but I wish that I could. Okay, I didn't want Blood and Cheese, but I realized it had to happen because it's necessary to the story. I was super fine with it being watered down, personally. I was super okay with it, because the entire like part just the fuck out of me, so for me it's like, I don't want any, as much as you can water it down, cool, fine. That's my personal opinion, that's my personal preference, but I realize how other people wanted something different. But
no, I'm with that part, at least. Like I didn't need to see any of that. The sound alone, like I said, that's done it for me. But like, also, to be honest, I don't think Ryan was the main target of all this. I just think he just can't say Zaslav, or however you pronounce his last name. Personally, I don't care how you pronounce his last name, because
Man sucks at his job. Man is terrible at his job.
Also, I don't know if you guys remember the writer's strike in this in the actor's strike from last year. He's part of that problem on why that went on for so long. So
remember, was it 2008 when there was that huge writer's strike, and it just like deeply affected a lot of our favorite shows way back in the day?
Yeah,
and that's essentially what we're looking at now.
This one was bigger.
Yes,
This one was
that's
longer.
essentially what we're looking at now. I just remembered there were only what, like 15, 18 episodes of Supernatural in season 3, and that shit pissed me the fuck off.
I'm just mad Joan Clayton, I never got to see her married after she spent all those years talking about getting married on Girlfriends.
Oh, pff.
Well,
Oh, I
Anyways.
thought you meant girls. I thought you meant
No,
girls.
no,
I was like,
girlfriends with like
as you say, tomato,
oh,
tomato, tomato.
no,
I thought you meant
Tracy Ellis
girls. I'm
Ross.
like, nobody cares about Lena Dunham.
I don't care about
We're
that.
divorcing. Okay. All right.
Anyways,
so
anyway,
let me get my thoughts on the blog post real quick. So
yo, spit hot fire.
when the blog post came out, I'm not gonna lie, when he said I'm gonna talk about all the problems with Game of Thrones, I was like, he's gonna fucking roast HBO. Like, he's gonna roast them. Never thought he would roast Ryan though, because they're friends. Like, the whole reason Ryan is the showrunner for like the whole reason HBO knows who the hell Ryan Condal is because George got Ryan a meeting with HBO, because Ryan started out as just a fan of George. So that's one thing. But second thing,
I thought Ryan worked on Game of Thrones.
No.
No.
No. I thought he did too. At one point, but no, he didn't. That was Brian Cogman.
Okay, there we go. It's the sorry guys, my bad. Keep going,
Condal
girl.
and Cogman. Okay, yeah.
Ryan. You see
like,
what I mean?
He met Ryan.
So many names.
So he met Ryan when Ryan was filming something in Santa Fe, and then they meet. They become friends. Like, Ryan's already a show writer, nowhere, like, not working for HBO and shit, but he's a show writer, or he's a writer. Like, I think he's like a real estate agent and a writer or some shit. I can't remember. Anyway, George gets him a meeting with HBO. Like, hey, this is my friend. This is his show idea. Ryan comes up with the Bible. Well, not just Ryan and George develop the show together. They come up with a Bible. And like, if you know about TV or like anything like that, the show Bible basically has like the story engine, right? So what's moving the plot. And Ryan has always said for him, the story is about this family. So Viserys, Alicent, Rhaenyra, Damon, like the family, the immediate family. That's who the story is about. And then the Bible also lays out beginning to end what's going to happen. So if this Bible exists and they follow the Bible, then all the Rhaenyra shit that people don't like, George helped write that. George helped write that. And then one of the writers is George's assistant. The T. Micken, that's George's assistant. So George's influence is there. Now, I don't know what happened. I really think it's like the episode cutting thing. But I don't know. I feel like they were in negotiations about that. And then some shit happened. And I feel like maybe Ryan sided with HBO. Like, yeah, we'll just have to cut it to 8. Because at the end of the day, Ryan he's the showrunner. So he does have a lot of say. He has the most say.
Remind me, does George call Ryan out by name in?
Yes.
Oh shit.
He said, when he said the thing about because so when we were talking about Helena, he mentioned like her specifically. Like, he's like, yeah, Ryan doesn't know what why she's gonna kill herself, huh?
That's right.
I don't know.
But he also did say that like Ryan came to him and said they are pushing back on Aegon's second son. So they is HBO. So basically HBO wanted to cut Maelor.
Because they didn't want to put another toddler.
Okay, just put in a little Renesmee baby.
Right, you can CGI a dragon, but you can't CGI a fucking toddler.
Oh, how about this? Wait. Can I go? Let me jump here a little bit, and I'll get right back to you. I just want to say, you're complaining about working with a toddler because you already have too many toddlers on set. You shouldn't even have that many toddlers on set because you aged everybody down. If you made everybody the appropriate age, they would be older kids that you're working with. But you guys didn't do that. You guys already, like George said, toxic butterflies. You played with the ages in season 1. Now you have to age all these children down. Now you have more kids on set. Like, I have a 5-year-old. Jaehaerys and Jaehaera were not older than my child. They did not look that old.
They were
They
like
looked younger.
They were like 2.
They looked like 2-year-olds. They're supposed to be like 6 and 7. Not only that, but
Stormcloud,
like,
you're supposed to be able to ride Stormcloud.
how about this? Aegon's supposed to be able to have the wherewithal to know to get on Stormcloud.
What is he, 9 in the
Not
books?
in the books, he's at least like
He's 9.
9, 10.
He's 9.
He's like a 4th grader, probably.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Keep in mind, I work at a school. 4th graders, yes, they would have the wherewithal to hop on a dragon, especially if they watch
Yeah.
all sorts of other. Listen, if 4th
And they grew
graders
up
can
around
lip
dragon
off and
riders.
call you bro, they have the wherewithal to hop on a dragon
But-
when they grow up watching everyone else do it.
And also be able to form the core memories of when your mom gets later on.
Yeah.
That kid's not going to be old enough to remember
Yeah.
that.
You
How is
can
he going to be
say
a
it,
moody
Arah.
ass?
You can say it. This is spoilers.
Oh yeah, we're spoilers. Yeah, when Rhaenyra gets munched up by Sunfire, like how is he gonna? He's not gonna remember that. He's not gonna remember that. Like he's not gonna remember that at all. So it's like, if you guys, like George said, these toxic butterflies, that was one of them. You played with the ages. You aged the kids down too much. Now you're complaining, oh, we can't put another baby on set. Well, he would have been the only baby toddler you would have been dealing with.
It's like that image of the person riding the
Anyways.
bike and sticking a stick in between the spokes, flying off of it, and then blaming somebody else. I feel like that's what HBO is doing with like, well, we didn't want too many toddlers on set. Well, you could have just had one.
And you could also just CGI a baby in a blanket, bro.
A
'Cause
baby.
literally, 2 things happen with Maelor. 2 things happen with him. He's there for the blood and cheese thing, and then he gets ripped apart. You would have to CGI him getting ripped apart anyway, because you can't actually rip a toddler apart.
Yeah,
I don't even want that. Like, just insinuate what happens, just like they did when in Game of Thrones. When is it? God, what's the name of the little baby? I forget. The baby.
Baela.
Yeah, Baela. It doesn't show you what happened. You just see a dagger unsheathed. You hear an unfortunate sound, and then the mom, understandably, starts screaming. You know exactly what happened.
So when it comes, let me get back to the blog post. So when it came to that, like, I was kind of upset that George said that. I fuck with George so heavy, but people in this fandom are so toxic that they take what he said to justify their toxicity, and it's disgusting, and I can't stand it. So I was upset. Like, I totally get him saying that, and I support him saying it. It's his show, it's his material. These are characters that he has said, characters of his heart, mind, and soul. Like, these are his kids. So I get that he feels some type of way that he's not being listened to. Listen, when a lot of these great works get adapted, like Tolkien's work, Dune, who's the author of Dune? Jesus, Frank Herbert. These people are dead. They're dead. George is alive and saying, I don't like what you're doing with this.
Oh, apparently Rick Riordan's on like George, from what I've heard from the Percy Jackson fans, but that's neither here nor there.
He what?
Apparently he like crashes out like this. Apparently, occasionally.
But
I don't know. Anybody
it's upsetting. It's upsetting to see that. Well, so when he came out with the blog post where he's talking about his friend died and he's been dealing with grief and loss, and you see that he's really struggling, it's actually like, this is actually causing him pain. Like, it's not hard for HBO, Ryan Condal, whoever it is. I feel like it's HBO, Warner Brothers, but whoever it is, it's not hard. If you watch this stream, I doubt that you do, but somebody clip it and tag them. It's not hard to listen to the man that created this universe to make it good.
Yeah.
And not to say that it's bad, but it could be so much better if you just listen to the man that created the universe.
Not only that, a man that has experience as a television screenwriter. George has tons of experience writing for television. He started writing in television pretty early in his career. So that's another thing. Like, you guys are, he's a gold mine.
I could see him.
You know how hard it is to do both? to write a
could
novel
literally
and
see him-
screenwrite?
I could see him suing them. Like, I literally could see him suing them because I was reading. No one knows the exact terms of the contract, but apparently in the contract that he signed with HBO, somebody that worked on a game for HBO posted this, and they were like, if I understood well, the rights work as follows. HBO has the right to use all the content in the books. They can divert a bit from the story or chop away characters to it, however, they can't add to it. And that's what they did. They added to it when they changed Rhaenyra and Sheep Stealer. And he went on a rant about that on his blog, that his dragons don't roam. So you changed something very massive in his story.
Like, what is a dragon gonna do in the Vale? Like, be for real. Like,
Fuck
let's be
sheep.
for real. Like, Damon would never. Anyways, but I
Well,
wanted
you
to say
know.
with the. I mean, he doesn't.
Everything in the Vale is ugly. Is that basically what he said?
pretty much.
But
Well,
also,
but,
I wish
Sheep
he
Stealer
would
fits
have.
him.
I wish he would have spoke so precisely about Dan and Dave as he did Brian Condell.
I want him to like publish a burn book. I'm so serious. Just like roasting, like the post
Ugly
with
sluts and
Anakin.
making out with hot dogs. Yes.
Yes, I need that. I need that personally. But I also wanted to make a big statement here. Not a big statement. I, like everybody else, I know I make my joke saying I want Fire and Blood too. I do want Fire and Blood too. Don't get that mistaken. I really do want Winds of Winter. Like everybody else.
Can I be toxic?
If I hear you guys complain and attack this man after he's poured his heart out, talking about how grief-stricken he is, like, oh, I don't care. Give me my damn book. Do you hear yourselves? Like, do you really hear yourselves? Granted, do I wish this book was out sooner? Yes, I do. I think we all do. However, this is all on George. This is all on George. George's life has changed drastically in the time that Dance Dragons was published to today.
Do you know
he
what
knows he
I would
needs
do?
to put the book out, guys. You don't have to remind him that he needs to get the book out. He knows this more than anybody. Like, just, I don't know, just show people grace. People are just so disgusting online, and it just really bothers me the way they speak to George.
Do you know?
This fandom is just like, seriously, this fandom is cooked. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, parts of this fandom, there's parts of this fandom that just like, it doesn't matter how good the show is, they will never like it. They will never like it. Their whole internet persona is to shit on anything Westeros, anything HBO, anything Game of Thrones. Like, I could just list off the shit. Like, okay, fandom so toxic, Fabian Frankel had to fucking turn off his comments on Instagram. Emily Carey had to delete her Instagram. They've
and Twitter.
And Twitter. Death threats towards Sarah Hess and Ryan Condell. I could go on and on. Like, online bullying. You go on Twitter and say you like Game of Thrones, guarantee you have about 5 people in your mentions. You're so fucking stupid. You have one brain cell. You're a shill. You're a shill. How much is HBO paying you to say that? HBO don't pay me shit to say nothing. I'm gonna say what the fuck I want whenever I want.
They don't even pay their writers. You guys think they're paying us?
Yeah.
So do you know what I would do? Do you know what I would do if I were George? I would finish the book, not say shit to anybody, and wait a year after, like, basically be like, a year after I die, put this book out, just so that for 365 days people are panicking, because as a whole, as a fandom as a whole,
that would be great.
We deserve nothing.
We don't deserve it. Yeah, no, actually, Alisha, it would be hilarious if he's like, you know what, release both books posthumously.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Wait
a
year until after
I'm
die.
not for that actually.
Release
yeah,
the
that'd be
book.
hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be panicking too, but at the same time, like it's like the amount of like I don't know what exactly when people do cruel stuff like that. I don't know. Y'all already broke it down eloquently. I don't need to pile onto it, but I mean, like, anyway, he should just. But I will say something toxic about releasing books. I was not, because he said he'd release Winds of Winter before he ever releases Fire and Blood Volume 2. Not that I don't want Winds of Winter, because I do, but I want Volume 2 first.
Okay, all right. So when I said that last time, you guys were killing me over that.
That's not true.
All right.
Maybe it is. I don't know. I changed my mind a lot.
I could give a fuck about Fire and Blood 2.
I'll be honest, I flip-flop a lot because I was really Fire and Blood 2 when the show was on, but I've been rereading all the Austen Ard books because Navigator's Children is finally coming out because Tad Williams, you know. Okay, let me not compare authors. Anyways.
Stop that.
Let me not do that. Let me not do that. Anyways, Navigator's Children's coming out in November, but I've been rereading Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn, and it made me like, dang, I forgot how much I really love these big epic fantasies. So that's why I'm like, oh, Winds of Winter would be really nice. But now, not only that, you can rereading Memory, Sorrow, and Thorn. George took so much inspiration from those books. It just makes you want to read A Song of Ice and Fire afterwards.
He needs to read it. He needs to read it again.
Oh, I know, right?
But we get some more info.
I was thinking the same thing. I was like, George, you might want to go back, like revisit to Green Angel Tower just one time.
One time, please.
Just one time. It might help you a lot. But anyways,
I gotta read these books.
You do. Anyways, I will say actually, you guys should all be reading these books. But actually, speaking of, I think we should probably. I did, and then somebody else I saw was reading it as well recently. Kendall, our buddy Kendall that was on A Night of Ice and Fire. He's also reading it now too. But
Mia says the fandom was toxic before now, especially with how a lot of them are racist towards the Black and Brown fans. A few are some fellow dude bro YouTubers. So yeah, when Corliss was casted, a lot of it showed that hadn't showed before. And a lot of those same people that were up in arms that the sea snake, that they had the audacity to make the sea snake a black dude, those are the same toxic people. That's the same clique. That's the same clique of people that hate the show.
Yep, they're like I'm not sure if anybody else here is a Star Wars fans. They're like the equivalent of why Acolyte got canceled. I'm not going to go into a Star Wars rant here today because that's not what we're here for. But actually, speaking of rants, did we have any final thoughts with the blog post? Because we do some stuff about season 3 we have to talk about.
I just want to send George good vibes for writing, good healing vibes. And I also want to tell HBO to get their shit together. Like, get your shit together. Talk to the author. He's still alive. It's not someone dead whose material that you're adapting. He's still there. And he wants it to be good. Talk to him. Send him an email.
I agree with what you said. And also, George, I'm all here for bullying sometimes works. I know that sounds awful to say that, but like, think of Sonic, the Sonic movie. My son Axel's obsessed with Sonic. So when they first put out the design for Sonic the Hedgehog and everybody's like, oh my God, that looks ugly. So then they went and redesigned it and it looks so much better. And now they're on their 3rd movie. Yeah, so I think maybe George doing some light bullying of things that shouldn't happen or about, different writing aspects of the season might actually get them to reconsider what they're doing in the writer's room. So if he's going to just keep doing stuff like that, I might be a little into it. Not going to lie.
I mean, I don't see how they could see the reaction to season 2 and continue.
The way they're doing it.
Yeah.
Alisha, any final thoughts? I know you didn't see it when it first
I was
went
literally,
up,
there have been a couple times MJ took the words right out of my mouth. So I'm going to echo what she did about, I think HBO, they're, if anything, making money means a lot to them. So they're going to see how poorly season 2 performed versus all of their other Song of Ice and Fire content. And they're going to figure some of it out. And they're going to try to figure out how to get those ratings up. Well, at least they'll have a meeting about it.
Compare it to season 1, guys. It's pretty simple. Look at season 1 of House of the Dragon, and look at season 2.
Yeah, all numbers are down across the board. Like, yeah. Oh, they're learning. Oh, and when those Emmy nominations come around for next season, they about to learn.
The Battle of the Gullet would have saved everything. The Battle of the Gullet would have saved everything. Any minor complaint people have is magnified because you left them hanging. Hanging.
Speaking of things that were pushed off for another season, season 3 predictions.
Oh yeah, let's get into those. Before we do that, I just wanted to say quick thank you, Aiden Evans, for the super chat. Hi gang, so happy to see you guys back at it. Love you guys. Definitely not going to harass him to finish, but IDK what I would do if he dies before they are done. And that's talking about the books. Yeah, I think we all are going to be in a puddle. And speaking of that, just I want to say a quick RIP to the legend Frankie Beverly. He passed away today, as well as James Earl Jones, the legend.
Also, the original voice of Sailor Jupiter in the Japanese version.
This has been a sad month. Also, 9/11, never forget. But so season 3.
Okay, very quick story, very quick anecdote. So I was in 8th grade when 9/11 happened, and the 8th grade social studies teacher asked me if I would address her 8th grade class about where I was. And to me, it was a pretty simple story, but they're like, these babies are just not as educated on history as we used to be at their anyway, they were just like, oh my God, Miss Benton, you remember? Like they were acting like I was there.
Yeah.
Like,
sidebar.
Go ahead.
I thought you said like when you were a kid. So random, not to go on a tangent. Obviously there was like a lot of patriotism when that happened.
I kind of touched down on that.
I wrote yeah, my school had us write letters, and I got to read my letter at like a big old event at like our city hall, and it was like on the news and stuff. It was kind of cute. But anyways, that's not important. I've been a yapper my whole life. So since I'm yapping, season 3, right? We're gonna talk about season 3. We kind of talked about her a little bit, but let's get into Helena. I think we should start with go by team. So let's go into Team Green first, and then we'll get into our preferred team, which is Team Black.
She looks so pretty.
Gorgeous. So Maelor, Maelor, is he happening now? Do we just?
There's no way for him to happen.
Well, yeah.
Unless this is the way he happened. Oh, I forgot the mouse doesn't work. I was talking about.
Well, you got to keep in mind too, as he was talking to her, he went to touch her arm, and he decided not to. So I highly doubt they banged after this. Just throwing it out there. So.
Yeah, Maelor's.
I just realized it's not enough time for her to be pregnant and give birth for everything else.
Not unless she's pregnant right now, and we don't know.
Unless they pushed off Bitterbridge for 9 months or however long.
Yeah. So I'm talking Maelor up to a no. Or
no.
wait, I mean, we haven't seen Daeron yet, so they might be like, oh, they kind of just forgot they had another kid.
Here's what bothers me.
Even though he's in the credits.
Here's what bothers me. Okay, there is straight up in the kids' room, Jaehaerys and Jaehaera, there's a crib on the other side of the room in the back corner.
Oh yeah, there is.
There's a crib.
And as I was kind of just slightly talking sarcastically, in the opening intro from season 1, when they had the little cog thingies and the blood, there are 3 children for Aegon and Helena.
Well, we didn't think Daeron was happening, and then
I know.
Well, the plan was for.
I really am sticking to. I don't think they really wanted to include him and realize, oh wait, no, there's no way we can wrap all this up without including him.
Well, they were originally planning to include him. Just
What if
later.
Maelor ends up being a bastard? And they're like, he will do because we need an heir, and Aemond is a psycho bitch.
Whose bastard would he be?
I don't know. You know,
Aegon's?
Aegon went
Aegon has a
around
bunch of them. He's a
slinging
bunch of
his.
them. Yeah, I mean, we've
Yeah.
seen like at least one
Oh,
or
what
two
if
in last
they do?
season.
What if they try to legitimize one of Aegon's bastards?
That's kind of what I'm saying. Yeah.
Like that already exists.
Yeah.
Not
And it's
not
passed off as
Helena's.
Maelor.
Like, that's what I meant when I was like, he'll do.
But it wouldn't have the same effect because Alicent's not going to be trying to protect him.
Also, yeah, here's why that wouldn't happen. Aegon is currently on the run. Larys is in hiding with him. The rest of the Green Council is about to be put to death. Yeah, no, that's not going to work. I don't think there's going to be a Maelor.
I could see like a bastard, them gathering one of Aegon's bastards as a claimant to the throne.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say that we have the Adam brought it up, pale hair maybe.
I was gonna say Damon.
Yeah, I think we might see him in this season if he wasn't the little boy that was in season 1. The one that was
pale hair.
Yeah.
I think the biggest disservice to Helena's character has not been the absence of Maelor, but the absence of Dreamfire.
I was just about to say that. Girl, look at you being a mind reader. That's yeah. Dreamfire. Do we see Helena and Dreamfire together at all? I know even Fia, the actress that plays Helena, has said she'd like, to hang out with Dreamfire. In the books, Helena loved flying. That was a thing that, it was well known about Helena.
So if I was writing the series, we would see Dreamfire. I don't know what the fuck Ryan got planned.
Okay, so I think Dreamfire and Helena are going to have one moment together before Helena, defenestrates herself. One scene, a single scene.
There should be.
We're going to be fed crumbs.
Yeah, this lack of Dreamfire is kind of like...
And there were so many opportunities. The missed opportunity was the funeral pyre for her son.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
such a missed opportunity. And then
another missed opportunity was when they were in that riot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, just a scream, scream alone would have done it.
So what if? Okay, Helena goes to see Dreamfire, or Alicent takes Helena to the dragon pit because she thinks her and Helena are gonna get out of there before and this is reaching. Alicent wants to take Helena with her, leave King's Landing, yada yada. Helena's gonna bring Dreamfire with her or attempt to. Rhaenyra's gonna feel a certain type of way about Aegon not being there. I think at first she'll kind of debate whether or not she believes Alicent, purposefully let Aegon go. But before they can actually leave the capital, I think Rhaenyra is going to have them imprisoned. So I think they're going to get to the dragon pit and then be apprehended.
We know that Dreamfire flips out when Helena kills herself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because she's got to break that
break her chain.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see that. I was gonna say with speaking of, since you brought him up, our burnt boy, her husband, Aegon. Do we see him this season, or is he going to be gone like Bran? Like
season 5 Bran.
Yeah, he's gonna be like season 5 Bran. But wait, who has a better story than Aegon the Second?
I was gonna say I can see them pulling some stupid, unnecessary Thelma and Louise bullshit
with Larys.
Yeah,
so I definitely think
two cripples hitting the road.
I think he may be missing for the beginning of the season, just because. What are you gonna show of him? So I feel like he needs to be missing and everybody needs to be wondering where he is. Kind of like how we were all wondering where Otto is, and then they show he's in a cage. So I feel like the shocking moment is going to be Aegon moving into Dragonstone, and Sunfire being at Dragons, and like Sunfire reunification.
Yeah, I could see. I think we're definitely going to get Sunfire because everybody thinks Sunfire's dead. I think we're going to see Sunfire finally leaving Rook's Rest. I think we'll get that this season. But are they just saying Sunfire's dead?
I think they are. They're hoping people.
Are they hoping people believe
it's-
that, or do
they're
they
gonna-
think
they're
that
going to try to
or they
use
just
it as like an element of surprise, like surprise.
or
Sunfire
more or less like
cannot be
Sunfire's
dead.
like missing like a wing? Well, no, I know Sunfire's definitely alive. But you know how they like in the show they keep saying, "Oh,
I think the show
Sunfire's
offhandedly, like they were like that
Or
they
they
had
just-
Aegon say he's dead so that they could surprise a lot of non-book readers later on.
I mean, but
Oh,
even in the
so
show,
I was gonna say,
even though Criston Cole says he's wounded and he left a garrison to guard him.
Right.
yeah. So
So
I think Aegon probably,
doesn't know.
yeah.
Well,
I feel like he could feel it.
Well,
maybe.
his
Ah,
PP
he's icky.
exploded like a sausage on
Oh,
a
yeah, he has
spit,
bigger
so
things to
he's
worry
not the
about.
most sound of mind, you know.
Yeah, I
What
think
he
we'll see. Yeah, we'll definitely see Sunfire in season 3. I don't know if we're gonna get a lot of Aegon. I definitely, yeah, I think he'll show up at the end of the season, but like that kind of be it.
I guarantee we get an unnecessary on the road scene.
On the road again.
I would
maybe.
I would bet a lot. That means a lot to me.
I think you're right. I think we'll get at least one because they can't completely remove Aegon and Larys. I just don't know where they're going.
Because Larys disappears for a whole act in the
Yeah.
books, does he not?
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
Just
So
keep
I think that'll
popping
be
back and forth. Surprise.
Yeah.
Yeah, so him and Aegon both go missing. So like it's kind of lines up perfectly.
Yeah. Yeah. So I say we'll see him again, but very sparingly.
I think it ends with him at Dragonstone.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
that,
or like
at
in a
first.
rowboat on I think like on some Gendry stuff. We'll see him in a rowboat.
See, at the very beginning when we were doing our predictions, I was going to say that at first. However, I stopped myself just because I do think they are gonna try to pull out in the same way that they're trying to pull out this element of surprise with Sunfire still being alive. I think they're gonna do the same with Aegon. I don't think that they want to unveil that Aegon is still or where Aegon is until Rhaenyra gets to Dragonstone.
You mean King's Landing?
No.
No,
Oh, you mean back to
when Rhaenyra gets
Dragonstone
to-
when she
yeah,
gets back
to
back
yes,
to the
yes.
okay. Actually, speaking of yeah, I don't think Aegon's gonna do much season 3. But for people who I think are gonna do something in season 3 that didn't do anything in season 2, Grandpappy Otto. Who has Otto?
It has to be someone south of King's Landing. Outside of that, I don't know.
I've
I've been trying to figure it out.
I think what the fuck?
Beesbury?
Beesbury. Yeah, I think the Beesbury has him.
I agree because of if I'm not mistaken, that's like you kind of gotta go down that way to get down to Old Town a little bit if you're going
Mhm.
inland because figure he can't get out through the by boat because there's a blockade, so he has to go over land to get down there.
Yeah.
If he's
You would
taken
have
by
to pass the
Beesbury,
Honeyhole.
I was just gonna say the honey wine. I think Otto being held by Beesbury will lead into the honey wine, and this kind of tying into our first appearance of Daeron. Or Daeron,
And
however you wanna say it.
Daeron probably saves him.
Yeah, I could see that being like their big introduction. Because I feel like that'd be a good way of actually do we want to let's talk about him real quick. Let's get
So
into it.
here's something to keep in mind. Wherever he is, however he gets out, at some point, he most likely has to fall into the clutches of Rhaenyra in King's Landing. because I do think
Ooh.
he dies by execution from her or Damon. So
What
he
if
might not
Miss-
be rescued.
What if Miss Arya has him?
Oh wait, no. I like this. Hold on. Wait. I like this, Adam. I think Otto's going to be involved in the Caltrops plot.
Oh, do you think he might be the one that drinks the wine?
Ooh, you might be
You
on
know,
something there.
because it was what, Hobart Hightower, not Hobart.
Yeah,
It was like
Hobart, something like that.
It was like a
Not
distant
Ormond.
cousin, like
Whatever.
inconsequential nephew or some crap like that. And basically,
Yeah.
like, he did nothing of significance other than like be like, yeah, I'll drink this wine with you. However, I don't.
Only reason I could see that definitely happening, or at least like him being involved there, is, let's be honest, another reason why this second half of the season fell flat is because Riss wasn't in it. And
I was
could
gonna
see that
say, if the
him not-
showrunners have any sense, they would just keep him alive for the rest.
Can we talk about
Yeah, just
how we have
throw him
shifted
in
from
there,
being
so-
like? Can we talk
Go
about
ahead.
how we shifted being like, we hate him, we hate Otto, and all of a sudden it's like, this episode sucks because Otto's not in it.
I still hate him.
Yeah,
I hate him too, but the episode sucked because
that
I had this visceral hatred for him. Like, every time he opened his mouth, I'm like, I love the actor, but the character himself, like, fuck you, go sit on a DICK and die.
I feel
Fuck
about
you.
him,
And
yeah.
now every time he's not in an episode, I'm like, this is some bullshit.
Yeah, I feel the same way about him as I felt about Lena Headey, like Cersei.
Yeah.
I loved to hate Cersei. I just hated Otto.
Yeah, I was gonna
Well,
say
I
one.
love to hate
Well,
him.
early Cersei
Mhm.
used to like really work my nerves, but
Not I.
especially with the lady business. The
No,
lady business kind of really
I
did it for me.
hated early Cersei, and I hated her even more in Feast for Crows. But
Oh, are
I
we
love
talking
her
books or show?
both. I love her
Okay.
at the same time. I feel like she's a beautifully written villain.
Yeah. Remember when we recorded this like 3-hour Cersei episode
Yes.
of Obsidian Nights like 4 years ago that just never dropped? It was some of our best
And
work.
I wanted access to it, and I never got it.
It was our best work.
Anyways,
It really was.
No, you guys are bringing up sad moments that I wanted to hear, unfiltered,
Don't
uncut.
be bringing up my failures on live. What's wrong with you, George?
Oh,
sorry. I just have fond memories of when we recorded it. We're like, this is so fire. This is so fire. And it's just between us now.
Ooh, question for things. Question for you guys. John Haymaker. I thought Laris locked him up. Do you guys think Otto was locked up by
I mean,
Laris potentially?
I don't see Laris wanting Otto around for shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Otto being gone made everything fall apart.
Yeah, I think personally, the Beesbury tying him into the honey wine, moving him into the Caltrops plot makes the most sense.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, again, they're going to King's Landing. They'll be in King's Landing very early next season. So, like, there's not a lot of time unless he's sitting somewhere in King's Landing, which I doubt because it looked like they were on the road. Like he was in a carriage of sorts.
It definitely seems like
that
he was
way.
at a camp. Yeah.
A camp. Like he's not like this doesn't look like the oh my god, Black Cells. Like
No.
I don't think this is like in the bowels of the Red Keep. Like
it's outside.
Yeah.
For sure. He's in there with a faceless man. That's how he gets out. It's not Otto, it's a faceless man.
He's with
Jack and Hagar.
He's with Jack and Hagar. Valar de Harris.
Oh.
But no, I actually do like the idea of him being part of the Caltrops.
Yeah.
But now that I think of it, it seems chunky in my mind getting him back to King's Landing. It felt necessary because in the books that is how he meets his end. He's in King's Landing and he's basically like the first big execution, isn't he? Yeah.
It's like him
him. Why did I just forget?
Iron
Orwine
Rod.
and Iron Rod. Like they all get real early. Speaking of people that would have also, I'll say Otto. Actually, what else we expect from Otto next season? So I'm assuming he gets let out. So we're thinking he essentially gets incorporated into that Caltrops plot line. Maybe some good, scenes with him and Daeron. That's kind of how I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
I
At
mean,
least.
yeah.
He went to go get Daeron. Well, she told him to go to High Garden, but he's not listening to her.
No. No.
Yeah,
So I think that Daeron and Otto scenes might be very juxtaposed. Dang it, I can't talk tonight. You know what I mean?
Juxtaposed.
Like he's gonna be so refreshed to have a grandson with some form of decency and intelligence listening to him, conversing with him, So
somebody that's
beautiful
not
dragon.
like
I still can't believe that they put that in the fucking trailer for the episode.
That blew my mind. I was like, why did y'all do that? You guys should have saved this. Like, if I didn't if they didn't put this in the preview and you aired the episode and this came out, literally the internet would have exploded.
Yeah, I can't believe.
How old is Daeron in the show? What, 16?
He's like Jace's
16.
age. He and Jace were milk brothers. So
Okay, so Jace has been riding his dragon for how long? Because didn't they say in the show Tessarion is finally big enough to be
he might
ridden?
not have
He said
I wonder if he claimed him late.
He said he's finally taken wing, like as in left Old Town.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that makes more sense.
I'm gonna calm down. Okay.
Yeah, so I think we'll probably get a lot of Daeron with Otto, because figure it's gonna be a new character for most people. It's gonna be a new character for all of us. He hasn't been casted yet. It's a new character. At the end of the day, even though we know he exists and we've known he's existed since the show started, and I complained about it a lot.
I think one of the reasons
pairing him with Otto, a character one that we miss, we haven't seen him in a long time. So to pair them together, I think we're going to get a lot of good character work there. Personally, I think those scenes might end up being some of my favorite scenes next season.
Do you think one of the reasons that they waited so long to unveil him and put him in the show is because, I think it's very obvious that Ryan Condal and Sarah Hess are kind of team black in a lot of ways, which I'm not complaining because so am I. They could really only have so many. I mean, look. In the book,
Sarah Hess is not team black.
Okay, well, there are really only so many decent greens you can put in the show. Like, it's very pro Rhaenyra for now. Very pro Rhaenyra.
There aren't that many decent greens in the book.
Daeron, okay.
Daeron is literally
listen, hear me. They were really on a mission to be pro Rhaenyra. That I can acknowledge about the show. I'm not complaining at all. But it was obvious. Helena really could only be their decent green because part of Alicent's storyline is what a horrible mother she is. And if she's got 2 out of 4 kids that's actually decent, throws a wrench in that. At least this way you got a decent kid, but she didn't raise him.
I was just gonna say, even if you included Daeron earlier, just like I said this back when we were covering season 1, I would have done like a name drop like they did here. Name drops would have gone so far. Like, that's just me personally. I just think it's beyond long overdue. I really think I'm gonna be that guy. I don't think they were gonna bring him on in the first place because I don't understand how you overlook that badly.
They kind of forgot about Daeron.
I think they kind of forgot about him as well, trying to see where they can, because it looks like there's a couple other people that might be condensed and cut that should be in the show that we might still get, but I'll talk about that. We'll talk about that when we get to Team Black. But I'm assuming, Battle of the Honey Wine. We kind of were just talking about it a little bit. Do we actually see the battle, or are we going to get one of those like
It's gonna be like
full
burning mill.
shots. Like
We
the
need to
burning
see
mill.
it. We need to see it.
Here's why I don't think we're gonna see it. There is only one side of the battle with characters that we know, barely. That's why we won't see it.
I know, but they need Daeron to be introduced, like, not in the same way that, like, whatever his name, Blackwood, was introduced.
Mm.
Like, he needs to be introduced in a memorable
like in a big way.
Yeah, like you
Okay.
left him out of a whole entire season. So when you introduce him, because you left us on a cliffhanger with him after showing his dragon in a preview, you need to do something bigger than just have him like getting off to Serion. Like, yeah, we just won this battle.
So they could do a battle, or they could end up doing like how Aemond was at Sharp Point. You know, burn, burn, burn. There's Daeron on Dragonback, admiring his handiwork.
No, not like that,
Yeah.
but not like that. I think more they need to show like him, not to Serion and him burning things, but they need to show him. Part of why Daeron the Daring is Daeron the Daring is because he did like shut the honey wine shit down. Like, he is the reason that they won that. He's the reason the tides turned. But I think they need to like show maybe the before and after, but I need to see the before. Like, we need to see the strategic mind of him. We need to see who he is.
Yeah. I was gonna say he needs an epic entrance, especially where they pushed it off so long. We're getting him in season 3. Like,
I don't want him like to just come in burning shit. That's crazy.
Oh yeah, no, I feel like that would be against his character because, like we said, he's more he's not his brothers, especially Aemond. He's not like that at all. He's a totally different type of kid. So I'm interested to see how they do it.
Let me ask you this. Is there a single character of Daeron's generation, being either Rhaenyra or Alicent's kid, that got an epic intro?
No,
Yes.
but
they're not going to do it with Daeron.
Oh wait,
Yes.
Who?
Jace.
No.
Jace's intro was him in Burmax in the Dragon Pit.
That wasn't his intro. His intro was picking up like, no, it was with the baby.
Oh, because it was tall, young Jace.
They were bringing in the egg for the baby.
And then he went to the Dragon Pit.
That wasn't the end. But that's how they introduced all the kids, and it was like...
Wait, I thought they came through the Dragon Pit. I thought that's how they had the egg. Either way.
No, because remember, Laenor comes in, and he's basically like, okay, back to the Dragon Pit.
I would say the difference here... Yeah, I was going to say...
It's not epic, though.
No, but there's
the difference is they were introduced in season 1. This character should have been introduced in season 1, and they pushed it off all the way until season 3. And he's like a grown man dragon rider. You gotta bring him out with a bang because it's like
that would be the sensical thing to do. But you got to keep in mind they made if they listen. My faith in how they're gonna do Daeron is non-existent because look at how they introduced him now.
So I would say after the time jump, when we got introduced to the characters that we have now, Aemond definitely got an epic entrance. New Aemond, old Aemond, like older Aemond, was fighting in the yard with Criston, and he had that "I don't give a fuck about tourneys" line. I thought that was an epic entrance.
Oh yeah, no, he looked cold. He looked so cold. No, he looked cold as hell.
It was very on par with his character. Very, very on par. And Baela's second to old Baela when she was with Rhaenys, and they're talking to.
She was literally just standing there, not saying anything by the driftwood throne.
No, she checked his.
She greeted them. She greeted them and she checked them. Yeah, she was mad sassy off the jump. I was like, girl, I like you.
Seems
No, I
like
remember that.
my grandmother's right comfortably.
Okay,
here.
yep. My memory's kind of shit right now. You're right.
Yeah.
So I
But
just think he needs something like that. Like he needs something that says who his character is. Because I feel like Baela, that when we got introduced to older Baela, that definitely captures who she is. When we got introduced to older Aemond, that definitely captured who she was. And then Jace is kind of captured who he was too, because he was like trying to learn Velaryon and not getting it.
it was so funny. My poor boy. My poor baby.
But I need to know it, mother. But I need to know.
Mummy.
Yeah. I'll say, any final thoughts on Daeron before we move on to the next
I
group
feel
in,
like I'm gonna be
Green?
disappointed.
After George's post, I'm really hoping that we're getting the Sonic treatment here, which means it's going to be better. So I'm hoping this means that they're going to be like, you know what? Let's put a little bit more effort in.
I just feel like it's that dude. It's that dude that would be like, yeah, girl, do all the things I'm gonna do to you. And then, pillow princess.
Oh. That'd be funny. But I hope not. Because I don't know. I have it depends on who they cast. I'm excited.
I'm not getting my expectations up. I'm not.
That's basically what I've been a very negative Nancy about Daeron. I hope I'm wrong, but
I can just say what I would like, what I would like, but
girl, manifest.
Once I see like the official casting, I think depending on who they cast, it might change my opinion. But speaking of opinions that will never change, this guy.
Oh my god, such an
I cannot wait for him to go to Luigi's Mansion next season. So Criston Cole is with Gwen Hightower. Criston has, oh my gosh, I hate to say this. I love that he's dealing with so much PTSD and regret, but I also hate that it's making him like kind of zealous in a way. Like a little too zealous. So
I think that monologue was meant to be like really deep, and it was just dumb. Like, only thing he said. No, even then I got mad at him when he's like, we march to our annihilation now. And whose fault is that? Huh?
I think he's having regret, actually. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think I don't know. He's finding religion in his trauma.
That whole exchange is so dumb because Gwen was so loud. That's his name, right? Gwen?
Yeah.
Gwen. Okay. No, Gwent is the Witcher game. Anyway. No, like sloppy as hell. Like, yeah, fuck my sister.
The queen.
Right in front of everybody, right?
Right.
Because he got so mad because Crispy's sitting there smelling a freaking booby handkerchief, and he's like, you slander my sister, just like freaking loudmouth. Anyway, and then it was just this like, I think they wanted Crispy to have this like Shakespearean moment. It fell flat for me because I'm just sitting there like, you did this, dude. You started this. This.
He's not wrong though, because like they are gonna all die. So like, I kind of here for emo Criston because I just want him to be miserable because he's a poopy head.
I want him to
if
stay
he's miserable, I'm happy.
I want him to stay cocky because when the Winter Wolves get a hold of him, it's going to make it that much more satisfying.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to see. I'll have no songs.
Oh, soon as
they about how bravely you died.
Soon as they start riding through, seeing like all the people set up for dinner, like set up to have dinner, and they're all dead. I can't wait to see it. I would just be on the edge.
Oh yeah.
Clench your butt cheeks.
So do you guys think we're getting fish feed this season?
Yes.
I hope so.
Yeah, I don't think Butcher's Balls this season. But the lads better be happening. They warmed us up. They've been teasing us. They're
Yeah.
teasing us. So you gotta bring him in. Not only that, but figure taking Aegon out of the story, and you're probably taking Larys out most of the season next season. You gotta fill that screen time in. Also, yeah, we need people that are gonna be in the field doing some stuff. And you're also about to clap like a lot of people in the beginning of the season. So like probably need to be able to fill in some screen time. But yeah.
They shouldn't need any filler with only 8 episodes. They better get it together.
Not at all.
Well,
Actually, we have
that's not stopping them.
speaking of 8 episodes, thank you, Count Velaryon of House Tatters, for the super chat. Late. No worries. You're still here, which is what we appreciate. I wish George R. Martin had blogged on episode 8.
They really they're Dune. They're Dune
Yeah.
outro.
Oh, it took me a second to remember what you were talking about. I was like, whoa.
I was like,
But-
it got quiet. Did I say something cringe?
Wait, hold on. When did this happen? Okay, sorry. China Moon just sent the super chat. Thank you. Sasha Vodegel Matson has been cast as Daeron. Is that for Duncan Egg Daeron or like?
I think Duncan Egg Daeron.
Yeah, I think that's the wrong one, which is hilarious that Daeron the Drunkard was cast before Daeron the
I bet. Well, what's the likelihood he's been secretly cast?
Do you know what I hate? I hate that Ryan, when people ask him about Nettles, he just can't say we cut Nettles.
Oh no, it's not the same actor.
Yeah, it's not. I just looked it up. I'm looking at it
Okay.
now.
That is an infant-looking child.
That looks like an older picture.
Yeah.
The only thing I
about what
see is
16
like
look like.
Wiki of Westeros, like that fandom site, but I'm not really seeing any articles from like entertainment or anything like that. So like,
Screen share it. What's up, Matt?
oh yeah, that'd probably be helpful, wouldn't it? Hold on. Eek. Give me one
So
second,
we can
gang.
see we can see what you're talking about.
Oh, Joe Magician says they can take Larys for a whole season from my cold dead fingers. Well, we'll revive you, buddy.
So this is what I was talking about. Can you guys see this?
Oh.
So yeah, these are the only things I've seen. Was like there's IMBD, but you can edit IMBD, guys. See House of the Dragon right there. But he's a cupbearer. He didn't play that. Just says he's a cupbearer. That's all I got from here. Yeah, it doesn't look like he's Daeron. I feel like that would have been a bigger publication.
Well,
But,
if you click news, it just says from like July 2024. So I'm going to say probably not.
Yeah, that'd have been nice though. But anyways, so we were talking about Criston Cole. I just lost my train of thought for a second. I was like, who were we talking about? Because we had moved on. So Criston Cole. Nightmares, PTSD. Do it. No, I think that's
Cole,
it.
hurry up and die. You know that?
Yeah.
You know that?
Like,
Yeah, I think
no
I
hair
think
and
we
all
were
for
kinda-
you. Just go die.
You know that
die.
movie, and it's like a I think it's Don't Be a Menace while drinking your gin and juice in the hood. It's like a funny movie.
Yes.
And he's like, and the girl's like, hurry up and buy. Hurry up and buy. When I see him, I'm like, hurry up and die. Hurry up and die. Die. I can't stand him. I hate him.
Like,
Which
why
I
are
think
you
is
still
good.
here?
Which means that they actually did good because you're not supposed to like him.
Oh, not at all. So
I mean, he's a good looking dude. They got that right.
Does he
Not
actually
that haircut.
Does
Not
he have fans? Let's go there. Does he have fans?
Incels, yeah.
yeah.
He does. I've seen it in the wild. It's quite terrifying.
Jesus.
Eek. I was gonna
Listen,
say
every single character on these shows has stands out there.
What?
yeah.
I bet if you did very light digging, you'd find an account dedicated to frickin' Alicent's feet
No thanks.
from like the 10 seconds they showed it.
Probably.
You know what?
I was
Let me
gonna say-
look that up now.
No thank you.
Okay, while you're investigating that, so we know Crispin is heading towards Harrenhal, and he's going to be meeting up with our homeboy Aemond over there. So when do we think Aemond finally takes wing and leaves King's Landing? Which episode? Again, like, I'm thinking within the first 3 he's out of there, because I'm like, I believe they're taking King's Landing within the first 3.
Yeah,
No more than 4.
he's gonna be out of there pretty soon.
Oh, found one on Twitter. It's called Alicent's Feet at
Alisha,
Club
so mad.
Football, and here it is. Her
Put
feet,
your
her toes.
put your phone down.
That is just
Put
that
it
person needs to be
away.
all right. You gotta put that
I
person has to get
told
put on a list.
you.
Time out.
All right, so Aemond, let's can we just let's go back, let's get back on topics. I don't want
I
to
just
go
want
back.
to prove
That's
a point.
disturbing. So Aemond, oh my gosh, so Aemond and Alice, we know that's going to be a big thing next season. Who do we see? I know I said earlier I really need to see Lucerys in a vision. Who else do we think is haunting him in Harrenhal? Because let's be real, we're gonna get Aemond therapy for season 3. And I'm so here for it. I think we're getting Criston therapy too, but not really worried about him. Aemond, I feel like it's going to be where all the good stuff is.
Well, I mean, all the people he killed, he doesn't really know. So, except for Luke, it's like he burned a whole castle. But
Luke is the one thing he cited to regret.
mhm.
I just
So-
realized he's supposed to kill Simon Strong.
If he's there when Helena dies, he will see Helena. Yeah, Simon's out of here. Like, I feel like Aemond and Alice's relationship is gonna be like some Miri Mazdor type of shit.
Ooh.
Like, he's gonna take Harrenhal. He's gonna put all the bastards to the sword. He's gonna kill all the Strongs, which means our Drip King is gonna die. And then he's gonna take Alice as his bed maid.
He's gonna feel so seen.
Do you
by
think
her.
do you think she's going to actually get pregnant in the
Maybe.
show?
So
Here's
I
what-
think in the show her eggs are hard boiled. I think she's like, didn't she say in the interview that she was like 300?
She's like
years old?
400 years old. Yeah.
Yeah. But you
So
know, like in
he might
the
take his-
Fire and Blood, she's like, I'm having this baby.
Well, it was
And-
like that in the show too. It was rumored she was really, really fucking old, and she was pregnant.
Maybe it's a shadow baby though. Like a
No,
Melanie
because
Brown.
didn't she had a boy next to her
Yeah, but
in
we don't know,
Harrenhal?
we don't know whose baby that was.
Oh my god! Yeah.
That could have been
Well, she-
anyone's baby.
I mean, she was a milk mom, wet nurse. So she was like,
Allegedly, she was.
allegedly. Oh yeah, allegedly. But
Carol Baskins.
That milk is powder.
no, I'm just kidding.
Do you remember when Glozell put a bunch of cinnamon in her mouth and just coughed it out? That's gonna be Aemond next season with Alice.
He's breastfeeding. But if you think about it, like, it does seem like in Fire and Blood, when the guy goes to treat with whoever, God, I forget the names, but it's end of dance, and she's like, if anybody laughs, that he'll die.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
I
you see the
remember.
handprints on his
Yup.
neck.
And
That's,
that's
like,
basically
very
what
shadow-
Melisandre does. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very shadow baby Melisandre-ish.
Mm.
But I
Though
don't think
the
it'll be a
direction they're
happy
going
ending.
with her in the show is very old gods.
Yeah, very.
Yeah.
So unless there's some sort of no, there's not. Okay.
Yeah.
Continue. Yes.
He's Jenny of Old Stone's daddy.
Oh.
She's
Like
the
an ancestor.
ghost-
You
she's
know
the
what?
ghost of High Heart.
I like what you're putting down there. I like
What
that.
if the ghost of High Heart is their baby?
Now we're talking.
Yeah. I'm
Now we're
cooking.
getting
I'm
somewhere.
cooking.
Now you're
Yeah.
cooking. You're cooking.
All right.
Let her cook. Yeah. No, wait.
Did I tell
No,
you about my father?
He was such a You're an idiot.
Oh no, I'm here for all of that. I would love that. Like, can we make that happen?
Okay.
Like, no, it's HBO.
Sorry, just okay.
Oh, also,
I mean, the baby just disappears. The baby just. Where's the
We don't even know
fucking
what happens.
baby?
What happens, baby? We don't know. Where's the baby? Who knows? So actually, we did kind of lightly touch on it. So yeah, House Strong is they're out of here. But I did want to say the scene when Aemond finds out that King's Landing falls is going to be kind of like you remember when Damon gets the letter and he's like when he's just looking at the letter and he's like, okay, my brother's gonna send help, and he just beats the crap out of the messenger. I think we're gonna get a very similar moment.
Well, in the books, doesn't he almost
beat the person to
the
death?
messenger boy to death until Alice intervenes?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's why I said it.
He wants to be Damon so bad.
Oh my god, he wants to be Damon so bad.
He's gonna rage, crash out. Is that what the kids are calling?
Crash out.
I'm probably gonna laugh throughout that entire scene.
I don't know.
He's gonna throw such a tantrum.
Oh, it's gonna be so funny.
I just think like Aemond. I swear I feel like season 3 Aemond, no, season 4 Aemond is just gonna be relentless shots of him burning everything because that's basically what he does.
Yeah.
And it just goes throughout the river. And
can you explain to me? Maybe I am underestimating the Riverlands and how skies work. How did they never run into each other for all those months?
I mean, if you think about it, like when people when people are on planes looking for wreckages and stuff, like if they don't have a location on it, they could cover like 200, 300 miles and never find anything.
Yeah, that's like a thing that's happening in
how many leagues are the Riverlands?
A lot.
A lot of leagues. Mm-hmm. Isn't it just 300 leagues from King's Landing to Winterfell?
I do not have that information readily available.
Okay. Someone in the chat, if you could.
I'll be honest, like I said, I've been rereading the Austenard book, so my brain right now that's the map.
That is because you're neurodivergent, and the way information works is you gotta, temporarily get rid of some to make room for more.
So there's definitely a whole Westeros map right in front of me.
You lazy bitch.
The Riverlands, I would say the Riverlands is huge.
Literally right here. Like right above my computer.
Okay. It was just like
Riverlands is huge.
I don't know.
The north is also big, but a lot of it's uninhabited. So like
I've just always imagined through the years like them never running into each other, like those revolving Scooby-Doo doors, just them in the skies, just never quite. I don't know. It's just always been weird to me.
Ooh, Aegon and Damon? I mean, Aemond and Damon.
And Nettles.
Oh, Damon did the whoop-de-whoop-de-whoop. Oh, no. I know what you're talking about. Never mind. Just kidding.
Them never meeting up. Yeah.
Because Aemond was hiding.
Like a bitch.
Oh, they just kept missing each other. But
Damon,
how do you hide Vhagar?
I mean,
she had a big blanket in the trees. We saw
it very successfully in the Red and Gold Dragon.
Yeah, and that was dumb.
Okay.
All right.
Alisha's getting tired. Let's move through these.
Yeah. Yeah. I was gonna say, speaking of people that aren't there, how do we feel? I know. I was like, how do we think? Last person for Team Green before we move into Team Black. How do we think Rhaenyra is going to react to, Alicent?
Rage Scissor.
Well, she's gonna think Alicent betrayed her.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do we think? She? Yeah. I was gonna say,
luckily for Aegon, Larys got the drop on Alicent and got Aegon out of there before Alicent got back.
I think that Rhaenyra is going to debate for a while whether or not she believes Alicent, and then finally just decide she can't trust her and keep her there in King's Landing.
Rhaenyra is going to be such a different person
after After Luke dies, yeah.
Jace
Yeah.
is gonna be dead. So when Rhaenyra meets back up with Alicent, the Battle of the Gullet will have happened. Rhaenyra's probably gonna think Alicent had something to do with that. To do with the battle. You just leave Dragonstone, then all of a sudden a Triarchy fleet is on the way.
Mm.
And now your son's mysteriously gone.
And your master of coin is
Like
on one of
it's
those
gonna
ships.
be, I feel like their relationship is gonna be vicious. Like the books. It's gonna be like the books.
Yeah, I think
Okay. Do you think there will be?
It's gonna be done.
Do you think there will be room for rage? Wedding. Like
I
rapes?
would love that
I
personally.
would break my TV.
I need that.
What?
Don't be ungrateful. I want that.
Don't be homophobic.
Oh my
let me have
God.
my
I'm kidding.
wings
You're
when I
not.
can
You're not.
get
You're not.
them. Yeah, I was like, wait, don't throw that on her jacket. But I just I would like to see it. Can't speak for everybody else, but I would like to see it. Do I think it's gonna happen? No.
I think they're gonna get up in each other's
Yeah.
faces and breathe really heavy and then pull away really quickly.
Like
I just feel like this.
no, I shouldn't. Like
I just feel like the sexual tension between them, like, sure, I'm pretty sure they scissored when they were like coming back from the church and shit when they were young. But like, your children are dying, your family is at war. You don't need to. Like, we don't need that. I want them to hate each other. Like, I want the bastard, you killed my sons, your sons, bastard blood shed at war. That's what I want. That's who they are supposed to be. I'm not gonna lie, I do like the dynamic between them that has been conjured up by the show writers, but I don't think we need to drag it.
So I think the only thing that could really get Alicent to absolutely spew the same vitriol toward Rhaenyra that Rhaenyra would her is the death of Helaena.
Oh yeah.
And the thing is, though, Helaena dies, and I feel like either the next day or that evening, that's when the shepherd is able to talk the King's Landing folk into storming the dragon pit. And I think like 2 nights later, Rhaenyra was fleeing King's Landing. Like, there needs to be time to build up all that vitriol back and forth. So how do you think that's going to fit in timeline-wise? Okay, let's say like they have this vicious back and forth with one another. Okay.
Well, I think they're gonna. I think seeing Rhaenyra kill her father is gonna make her feel some type of way,
right? But do we think Otto is going to go back to King's Landing?
Well, he's supposed to.
Yes,
but we just talked about it earlier, and we don't think it's going to happen because unless he's already like outside the gates, like.
So
timeline-wise, how are they going to get him there?
So I think I think Daeron takes Otto, rescues Otto, and goes to King's Landing. I think Daeron meets with Alicent. Like, there's gonna be a reunion of them before he goes back out and before Rhaenyra comes to King's Landing. I think Daeron will be there. But I do think that Otto will be the mechanism used for Alicent. Like, Alicent's gonna see Rhaenyra kill Otto, Ironrod, all the council, and she only gets spared because the love my father had for you is allegedly why she gets spared. But I don't think there needs to be like a specific, like, Helaena doesn't need to die. I think Helaena dies at the end of the season because you can't have Dragon Pit this season.
Right.
Yeah, which also like because George kind of said that she's supposed to die this season. So with her dying this season, I would assume you'd have to throw that towards the end, like the very end of the season, like make that like towards the finale, just so then you can kind of go into the downfall of Rhaenyra. Aegon getting back, Aegon dying. Hopefully, we can get the Hour of the Wolf.
See, that's the thing. Like, okay, in
Looking
order for
real
us-
slow there,
okay,
but guys,
okay.
but
So,
like-
in order for us to make a call of where season 3 is going to end, we'd have to kind of decide where or predict what all season 4 contains. And honestly, I debate back and forth. Like, House of the Dragon is not above anticlimactic pacing, but does season
So-
4 leave off with like
Season
the
4.
well,
Season 4 has God's Eye. Season 4 has Rhaenyra's death
and Aegon's death.
and Aegon's death.
right? But it won't take that many episodes. It would probably be like one each.
Yeah, so I guess it depends on what they do with this season is going to be real interesting.
So I do think Storming of the Dragon Pit is going to be
Season 4. I think that's season 4.
yeah, but it's such a major event. So I think it would be like halfway through season 4.
Let's say
So they're gonna change around when Helena dies.
they cut
Gullet?
a lot of shit. Let's say they cut a lot of shit. 100%, they're not going to cut God's Eye.
No.
They're not going to cut Gullet. We know that. They're not going to cut Dragon Pit. They're not going to cut Aegon killing Rhaenyra.
Yeah, I wanted to get into before we go too far down the rabbit holes of the season 4 events. I think we might have a better idea if we kind of, see where Team Black might end up in season 3.
Oakley dokley.
So Rhaenyra, when do we think Rhaenyra takes King's Landing? So we know the Battle of the Gullet's happening early, because I think that kind of actually dictates what we'll see this season. Is when do we think King's Landing is going to be taken by Rhaenyra? When is she sitting the Iron Throne?
She's going to take
And how much do we get of that this season?
Excuse me. Excuse me. I had COVID, guys. I just got over it.
God, for the 14th
Glad
time.
you're feeling better.
Anyway, if we look at the blueprint that we had for season 2, their big episode was episode 4 and episode 7. So we know we're going to get a big episode 1, Gullet. I think episode 4, we get the Fall of King's Landing. And then episode 7, I think we get possibly the fish feed.
Yeah, that timeline, I can get with that timeline.
Does that mean there will be episodes in between where we're spending time with the boys? Or the lads?
I would say most likely. Yeah.
Wouldn't that be without any of our main characters now?
Wait, but where will Tumbleton fit in?
Oh, we forgot about Tumbleton. Oh, damn it, we sound like David Mann. We kind of forgot about Tumbleton.
I was just gonna say, I wanted to talk about that since we're gonna talk about the Dragonseeds, like how like Tumbleton's 1 and 2. Before we get there, I do want to say we have a super chat from Aiden Evans. Thank you. Again, they better not replace Aegon III with Alicent when our queen is taken from us.
Oh, they won't.
Yeah, no.
Hell no.
We'd riot.
We'd storm.
But
okay.
Yeah, no. We would be the ones storming.
It should,
yeah, so,
technically, like thinking about everything that needs to happen, it should be 5 seasons. Now that they've cut it to 8 episodes, it should be 5 seasons.
Yeah.
But Ryan Condal did say like it's gonna be 4 seasons.
Yeah.
I'm impressed because I didn't know how they'd be able to do the show beyond 2 or 3 seasons, but they did it. They stretched it.
Yeah, but
and now it's looking like they're pacing it wrong.
Yeah,
but
they're pacing it for 5 seasons because you gotta have. We didn't even talk about second Tumbleton, like
or Bitterbridge either,
or Bitterbridge, or
which probably ain't gonna happen,
or Butcher's Ball.
Yeah, I know I mentioned it before. I think I mentioned it when we were covering this season. I could see Bitterbridge instead maybe being Alicent with Rickard Thorne. She's not going to die, obviously. but maybe like she gets seriously hurt. I don't know.
Oh, it's gonna be Helena at Bitterbridge.
Or Helena at Bitterbridge, because
It's gonna
then
be Helena.
Then how does she do herself?
she doesn't do herself.
So I think,
Yes, I don't know.
yeah,
Yeah, no, that doesn't work either.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know how they're gonna do Bitterbridge, so we'll just leave a big question mark on
I mean,
Bitterbridge.
they did cast Rick Thorne.
and it's
They did,
and
and
it's
they named
not
him.
just like, I'm not saying he's a super well-known actor, but he was in
he's
Troy. He
been in
was in
enough.
300. Yeah, he's like well-known enough. Well, no, then again, because look how they did.
I
frickin-
agree.
Graham McTavish.
Yeah.
I agree with Tatiana Blue. She said they didn't get enough done in season 2 for them to cover everything in 4 seasons. But that's what they're saying. Yeah, they didn't, because if Gullet was done already, that would be one major battle already out of the way.
Yeah. So I think we all can agree Gullet is like Gullet's guaranteed between episodes 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Where we're at. So with the Battle of the Gullet, what do we think's gonna happen with Viserys? Baby Viserys, that is. Is he gonna still go missing?
I've been waiting to talk about this.
He's gonna go missing.
I've been waiting to talk about this.
Presumed dead, and Rhaenyra is gonna be like, Rhaena, what the fuck? You're supposed to be watching my kids. You left them.
So she loses for Rhaenyra, for what she thinks. She loses 2 sons that day. She loses Jace and Viserys. But it does seem like we got the name drop of the gay abandon. So we know it's happening. We know they're getting on the boat. Alisha, I know you had a good theory that you kind of talked about when we were texting a while ago. So I'd like to go.
So Stormcloud is not rideable. We talked about that previously, but somehow Aegon has to get back to Rhaenyra. What's on top of it? I do believe somehow Tywin has to lose his eyes, ears, whole 9 manhood, whole 9 yards. So what I think is going to happen is they're going to capture the boys. There's going to be a disagreement about what to do with the boys. Tywin is going to want both of them as hostages to the crown. You know, the crown's hostages as like bargaining chips. However, gosh, I forget the name of the captain.
the
Admiral, I mean.
The Tyroshi.
Yes. They are going to want.
I was about to say Skaha.
Oh my gosh, this character here.
Yes. Have we established their pronouns yet on the show?
I've just been using they to be just
okay. We'll just keep saying they. Obviously, they're not going to want to just give up both the boys. So what it's going to be is they're going to take Viserys. Tywin is going to settle for taking Aegon. And when Rhaenyra gets a hold of Tywin, she's going to torture him to try to figure out where Viserys is. But by that point, Viserys will be beyond both of their grasps. So I think that he'll be captured. That's how she gets Aegon back. I don't know necessarily where he would take Aegon to or how he would get captured. But, you know. Yeah. I think he's going to take Aegon. Rhaenyra will get him back. The Admiral, whose name we don't remember, Skaha. We'll just call them Skaha. They're going to take
Shokar. Lohar.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Lohar or Shokar, something like that.
Laha.
Yep.
Okay.
Tyroshi.
Anyway, Lala is going to take Viserys, and then we all know what happens. They end up having to sell Viserys to. Did they end up? No. Viserys passed hands like 3 different times, didn't he?
Yeah, but we don't really have to dwell on Viserys because.
Anyway, that's what's going to happen to the boys. It was more elaborate when I first came up with it, but you know, I'm getting tired.
Honestly,
like a cranky old man.
No, you're good. You're good. No, I agree. So where does that leave I kind of want to talk about the Gullet a little bit. So who do we think is going to be involved in the Gullet? So we know obviously Jace, we know the Triarchy, Thailand, we know Corlys and his group. There's going to be a lot of people there. I'm hoping we get kind of a Battle of the Blackwater style episode where it's like just the battle, like all sorts of sides, like everybody, because figure you have Jace is obviously going to be there. We know that. The
Sorry,
Dragonseeds.
Count Velaryon called them Captain Lulu Shanana.
Oh,
I don't know why that's so funny to me right now. Anyway, go
so
ahead.
do we think Baela will be at the Gullet?
No, but I think that Rhaena will.
Yeah. Oh, so you do think Rhaena is going to be at the Gullet?
Okay.
I think
take it back.
Baela and Jace stay back to protect Dragonstone.
I take it back. So I think that Rhaena's going to get her dragon. She's going to take it to. Okay, she might either. No, she won't be at the Gullet. See, this is where it gets hairy because it's like, okay, if she gets her dragon, she's probably going to try to take him straight to Dragonstone, where Rhaenyra is going to be pissed. I think by that point, the boys will have been taken. Like, the Triarchy's already going to take the boys. Rhaenyra has the news. Like MJ has predicted quite a bit. Rhaenyra is going to be pissed with Rhaena. And one of the first things she's going to say to her is like, basically like, well, go get your brother back, make it up to me. So I think Rhaenyra is going to partake in the Battle of the Gullet. And I think that when she comes back with the other ones, like Rhaenyra is not going to be able to forgive Rhaena.
Yeah. So it seems like, since we're talking about Rhaena, Nettles is looking like it's not happening. Unless
I'm
Nettles
a pessimist tonight. I'm
unless
sorry.
Nettles did a backflip and cuts in front of Rhaena, I'm assuming Nettles is out of here at this rate because it's clearly Sheep Stealer. So Nettles is gone. So Rhaena has to essentially assume Nettles' character. So I'm kind of with you guys on that being like the cause of contention, the fallout on why she was kind of not watching her little brothers.
There's that. And also, I think Rhaenyra would have already been pissed. But after Rhaena not only comes, they all come back not only empty-handed, but she lost, Rhaenyra lost another son. She is going to be so bitter with Rhaenyra. Or with Rhaena.
Yeah. I was going to say, so we know, what's it called? So we're thinking Rhaena's at the Gullet. Jace, obviously, he comes to like, I gotta go get my brothers back because he has to go there because he has to die there. Dragonseeds. So do we think all 3 Dragonseeds are going to be there?
Yes.
I would assume yes. So with that being said, I could see Rhaena being there because Nettles is supposed to be there. She's there in the books. So I could see Rhaena kind of taking her spot there. And then maybe Baela being the one that's hanging back in Dragonstone with Rhaenyra.
Yes.
Because I'm assuming Damon is... I don't think Damon will be participating in the Battle of the Gullet because they still have to get from the Riverlands to south. So I'm assuming he's probably going to be traveling with that army. So I don't think he'd be there in time.
I have a question.
Yes.
I'm reading Sydney's comment. She said, I wonder if season 3 will be Damon versus Aemond, Helena and Daeron's death, and Joffrey's. It kind of has to be since they're only doing 4 seasons, right? So, if you think about it, could they really pull that off where they do all that in season 3?
No.
They don't have the budget for that, right?
Not only that, but Damon and Aemond, that's still going to be a season 4 thing. The Battle of the Gods is definitely going to be that's a final season.
Because then what would season 4 even be?
Yeah, the more like the whole aftermath. Like I don't know. I just think Helena's death in season 3 makes sense as like a season 3 finale type of thing.
And-
Joffrey would be season 4 as well because that's the storming of the Dragon Pit. That's when he goes. So, or supposed to go. We'll see how that turns out. But I was going to say actually, since
Sorry.
we're talking, oh no, you're good. I kind of want to talk about Damon actually, since we're kind of talking about him. So I personally, yeah, I don't think Damon is going to be at the God's Eye.
Gullet.
I'm at Gullet. Oh my gosh, yeah, he's definitely gonna be at the God's Eye. I don't think he's going to be at the Gullet, but I do believe we're going to see him on the road with some of the lads. I think we're gonna get. I think that's where we're gonna see the lads are with scenes with Damon. Because we already kind of got a tease of that anyways. So I think we're going to get more of that next season. So what else do we see with Damon in season 3? He's obviously going to be when they take King's Landing, but
he's gonna be with his daughter a lot. He's gonna be with Rhaenyra a lot. Rhaenyra's gonna totally take Nettles' spot.
I could see that, especially for well, somebody has to. But I could see him sticking up for his daughter, especially where he was having those visions and Lena was like, "Hey, what are you doing with our daughters? Are you protecting them?"
Oh yeah.
And this being one of the wedges, because obviously Damon and Rhaenyra, there's already tension in their marriage, but like it's about to go to caca. So I do believe the fallout where Rhaenyra is going to be a big catalyst for that. So
do we think we get any more Semex scenes at all?
with Damon and Rhaenyra?
Yeah, or with Damon and anybody, or with Rhaenyra and anybody.
Rhaenyra and Mysaria.
Maybe. Oh, what happens when Damon gets back home? It's the 3 of them. That's gonna be awkward.
So in the books,
He ditches Rhaenyra and stays with Mysaria.
She lets him. She says something like, "Let him slake his thirst where he wants," or something like that. I don't know. So she lets Damon start sleeping with Mysaria again, and Rhaenyra like does not care. So we'll see.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see what happens there. What else? I was gonna say, I think with Damon, in regards to big action pieces, I think will probably just be the fall of King's Landing. I think that's where we're really gonna see him like in action. But I think we're gonna mostly see him kind of just his interactions with characters. I think he'll do a lot with the lads on the road down to King's Landing. Then him and Rhaenyra, when they're in King's Landing together, they're probably gonna have a huge fight. And then he's gonna leave, probably like Rhaenyra, come on, and then they're gonna go gallop off to the Riverlands to set up like season 4. But they'll definitely be out of there before like Helena's death and stuff like that. So like I see Damon heading back to the Riverlands before the end of the season.
Yeah, for sure.
Like he'll be a quick turnaround time.
With Rhaenyra.
Yeah, with Rhaenyra in tow. I can definitely see that. Speaking of Rhaenyra, what do we think is going to happen with her sister Baela? Are we thinking
she's going to stay at Dragonstone?
Well, yeah, she does have to kind of stay there, doesn't she?
Yep. She's going to stay there with God, what was the name of the Castellan?
Not Thorn.
No.
I mean
the big boy.
He's not the Castellan, is he?
Yeah, of Dragonstone. That's why Alfred Broom gets so big.
Oh yeah. Alfred Broom is who I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
Oh, I just totes. The name slipped my mind. So many names.
I would look it up,
names.
but MJ told me to put my phone down.
Well, that's because you were looking up weird Twitter accounts. But
you told me you sanctioned it, both of you.
Okay. Well, I'll take it back. Anyway, so Baela. So Baela, how do we think? We know obviously Jace's death is really going to do a number on Rhaenyra. How do we think Baela's going to take it? Because I don't think she's going to take it well.
She's gonna notice Alan and be like, "Hey, boy, hey."
Oh, I know, right? So, actually, I'm glad you brought that up. Baela and Alan. Do we start getting some of that this
Another
season or
niece and
next
uncle
season?
pairing? Absolutely. Let's do this.
Woohoo! I mean, it's canon.
We love our incest. Okay.
Okay, girl, I didn't say all that, but like,
I really, really don't want someone from work to find these videos and out of context hear me say these unhinged things.
yeah,
I'm
actually,
gonna dial it back.
So I think we're gonna see, like, obviously Jace is probably gonna die episodes 1 or 2. I can see Alan distinguishing himself in the Battle of the Gullet. Also, Driftmark is going to get sacked
I'm not looking
during
forward
all of
to it.
this too, which I am so not looking forward to any of that.
What about all those cool things that Dad has?
I know that all the stuff he got from Mom. So I think that loss, as well as seeing, because that's kind of their home, their area. Like Hull's probably gonna get Hull's gonna get hit, like that whole. So I think that will also kind of bring Alan and Baela maybe a little bit closer together.
Can you pull up Fernando's question?
I think Baela's also gonna be going through this thing where she's now the one that has to stay back while everyone's at war. So like she's gonna be bitter, I think.
Yeah, especially where she lost her grandmother too. She's gonna be so tight.
Okay.
And now like
Hold on one
Rhaenyra's off
second.
at war with her father in the Riverlands, and you know that she want that to be her.
Okay, I'm
Oh,
just a second.
I see.
Just a second. Dragon demands. Nobody cares about you justifying an incest joke. Please and thank you. Bye. Anyway, Fernando, do we think that Rhaenyra getting cut by the throne is going to throw her off the edge because she is so wrapped up in the prophecy that seeing that sign might really mess her up? Good point.
Yes.
Do we think the throne is going to cut her?
I could see it.
No.
I mean, I would like it not to happen because we've already seen signs, like the White Heart.
Aegon was literally drunk, laying over the throne, and it didn't cut him.
Good point.
It better not
Good
cut
point.
her.
Yeah, actually, you got a good point on that. Yeah, because he was laying on it like it was a regular chair.
Like, what do he call himself? The magnanimous.
The dragon cock.
Something like that. But yeah, so I think Alan. Oh, speaking of Alan and the gang, does Corlys come clean that he is the papa this season?
Yeah. Once Jace is dead, or Joffrey is dead.
Ooh. You think he's gonna wait that long?
Yeah.
Well, once Jace dies, Joffrey will automatically. Yeah, so that
once the claimants are gone.
Well, no, because if Joffrey is claimant to the throne, then there's no more claimant to.
Okay, so just when Jace
and as it is, Corlys already doesn't know who to name heir of Driftmark. He hasn't named Joffrey yet.
So once Jace dies, I think she'll tell him.
Yeah.
And it'll be another betrayal.
Yep, and I could see, like I was saying, I think Alan's really going to distinguish himself in the Gullet to the point where he'll probably be like, he's not knighted. So is he knighted in the books?
I mean, Corlys kind of already wants to name him heir, and he wants nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I know, but I think he's gonna kind of be like, too bad. But not only that, but I think he might enjoy.
Come around.
I think the Gullet, I think his actions, I think he's gonna find out he actually is a natural born leader and take his dad's words to heart and inspire men, because we do know, like, obviously from the books, that Alan Oakenfist becomes like this huge legendary guy. Like, he becomes literally like his daddy's son. Like, he becomes the man, like, of his generation. So I definitely could see him turning around. Also, he eventually gets Baela, so like I think that's a big confidence boost.
He hurt my feelings when he cheated on Baela for that Dornish princess.
Yeah, I don't like to think about his wrongs. But I mean, hey, Papa Corlys cheated on Mama Rainey's, and
Oh,
that's
that
how
makes
Alan
it.
got here in the first
Oh,
place.
that
So,
makes
like,
it better.
it does. But I'm just saying. But so
Any
Corlys,
anybody we didn't talk about? Oh,
I was
Corlys.
just gonna say, Corlys, I think he's just gonna be super wildly depressed because all of his precious belongings that he spent years collecting and all those voyages is going to be stolen. His home's gonna be destroyed, and yeah, I don't see him being very happy about that. And also, I think Rhaenyra is gonna kind of go off the deep end, so he's gonna be like, this girl.
Yeah.
Yep. And all I had to say is Dragonseeds. Do we think they flip the season? So Tumbleton, season 3, season 4. What are we thinking?
It should be season
It should be
3.
season 3 because I think they need a whole season to be
Treasonous bastards.
Well, yeah, actually, now that I think
treasonous
about it,
bastards, yeah.
it definitely would probably be this season because it's kind of like after the Gullet is when they start getting a little sour.
Well,
And
not
then like
only
after
that,
she takes King's Landing, it's
they
like
need to
okay,
betray. Rhaenyra needs to try to imprison Adam. Corlys has to help him out. She has to imprison Corlys, which is going to make Corlys flip. There's a lot that needs to happen that happens after the betrayal of the Dragonseeds. So it's
I don't.
got to be this season.
I'm just gonna wrap this up with my final thoughts. I don't see how they're gonna do this in 4 seasons.
The more we talk about it, the more I'm
Yeah,
like, womp,
there's
womp.
no way.
We're about to get some rushed shit.
yeah, the toxic butterflies, man. George had a point. The last thing I'd say, just to before we head out of here, do you guys know what a Deadpool is? Not like so I'm not
The
talking about
Marvel
Wade
character?
Wilson. Yes, not that Wade. Well, yeah, Wade Wilson, but Wade Wilson's Deadpool. So
Where he got his
where the name comes
superhero name from. Yep.
So a Deadpool is essentially people that you think are going to die, and people take bets on who they think are going, is going to kick the bucket. So just for funsies, who do you think is going to die in season 3?
Jace.
Well,
Helena.
Helena, because George said.
Simon Strong's out of here.
Simon Strong. All his weird looking family members that were sitting there are also gonna die.
The possibility of Rhaenyra and Alicent just kissing.
Otto.
Or while
I think he might make it to season 4. Ever since that Caltrops thing was thrown out there, I think he's making it to season 4.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm thinking Otto might.
keep him around. He's a good actor.
Yeah, I think they might just try to keep him around and throw him in that Caltrop plot line. So yeah, I could see them keeping on for season 4. What's his face? The Iron Rod's definitely out of here. We already said that.
And he sucks anyway. So
Kragan Stark. He's definitely gone.
what the hell?
He's not dead.
What?
He's not dead.
Oh, I was like,
oh, he's gonna show up. What's the girl he's supposed to live?
He was just cut. Maelor, he's definitely gonna die.
Rickard Thorne's out of here. Damn, there's gonna be a lot of people out of here this season.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, the guy I can't stand, Jason Lannister.
Oh yeah, he's donezo.
I don't think Damon, Aemond, or Daeron are going out this season, Sydney.
None of
Just
the family.
because.
None of the main family.
Well, besides Jace
and Helena.
Yeah. But yeah, Damon, Aemond, that's definitely a next season. But Jason Lannister, yeah, he's gone this season. At the oh, that's gonna be fun. I can't wait to see him kick the bucket. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of Winter
do you
Wolves
think
go
the
down.
lion's gonna eat him?
I would love it.
Yeah, can we? I hope we see more of that lion.
Yeah, it's gonna kill him. It'll be a metaphor for the way that the House Lannister ends up destroying itself from within.
Ooh. Also, Criston Cole. I think that's everything in next season.
Yeah. A good
season
villain.
4.
Yeah. I meant.
Sorry, that's what I meant. Season 4. Yeah. So I was talking about. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, nobody else I could think of that's going to be dying.
Nope.
But well, season 3 is actually going to be filming soon. I believe they're filming at the end of this year, which is a good sign. However, we won't be away from Westeros for too long. I know some of you guys were talking about the chat. Duncan Egg is coming out early 2025. We don't have a date yet. They're already filming and where they don't have dragons and less stuff to do in post. I'm assuming we'll probably get maybe by April. I'm being a little overly optimistic. I could see Duncan Egg coming out by April.
With that
Can you
said,
imagine how people are going to react? There's no battles. There's no
my
battles.
god!
Nothing happened.
Oh,
don't watch it.
I'm not ready
Yeah,
for it.
I don't understand. I
Sit
don't.
that one out. Sit that
I
one
don't understand how people hate me. If I don't watch a whole lot of TV in general, and I don't say that in the Kourtney Kardashian sort of way, like, okay, do you want a medal? In general, I don't watch a ton of TV. So I'm very deliberate about what I watch. I cannot imagine sitting down to watch a show that I hate so bad that I leave these like unhinged freaking novels in people's YouTube videos or on Twitter or whatever else. It's weird.
Yeah, it is weird.
Agreed. Also, apparently, Duncan Egg is going to be 6 episodes.
Okay.
Interesting choice, but you know what?
Okay.
We'll talk more about that.
I could see that being 6 episodes because it's really the span of 3 days. Like the first story is like the span of 3 to 4 days.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, it's a lot of quick hits. But actually, speaking of Duncan Egg, we actually have a lot of Duncan Egg stuff coming you guys' way. But before we get there, we have to, before we can go forward, we have to go back. So we do have some upcoming streams that we'd like to talk about with you guys for what we're doing next.
And some guestesses.
And some guests. So we will just make sure you guys have your notifications on, bell, all that good stuff. We will be talking about Aegon the 4th. Oh my god, I forgot what number he was for a second. No, yeah, Aegon 4, the unworthy. We're gonna be talking about him,
and
we're gonna talk about his kids. And after we talk about his kids, we're gonna get to his grandbabies. And that's going to lead us all the way up to Duncan Egg.
Primers. Time for primers.
Yes. Yes, we're going to do some Duncan Egg homework together, guys.
And let us know if you want us to do like mukbang while we're... No, I'm just kidding.
No, we don't want to do it. We don't want to do it!
No, can you imagine trying to eat like...
Making fun of Aegon while we're like...
Oh, it's gonna be me sitting there talking about Aryan Bright Flame with like food, just like,
like what an idiot!
You drink the wildflower, blah, 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 blah. Like, yeah, no, I don't think anybody wants to see that.
Down his chin, just like.
Meanwhile, I have like freaking crab leg juice coming out. Yeah, no, nobody needs to see that. Anyways, but yes, we will.
Oh, Fernando, don't come for our throat like that. Preposterous AF, please and thank you. One thing at a time, my children. One thing at a time.
Yes, we have a lot going on, but we will be back. So again, please make sure you guys have your notifications on. You guys are subscribed, and we will be back soon. When we get back, we'll be talking about Aegon the 4th and working our way up to Duncan Egg stuff. So when there's trailers, we're talking about those, or if you guys have suggestions of topics, obviously let us know. You guys can sign up to be members on the channel. That helps support us a lot, and hopefully, streaming with you guys more often. But yeah, any final thoughts, ladies, before we head out?
Bedtime.
No final thoughts. Just best wishes to George, and that's all. HBO, listen to George. Stop bullshitting.
Yeah. Agreed. Highly agreed. Yeah, no, I'm supports all that. Yeah. George sending you positive vibes. If you somehow find this stream, we really love you and appreciate you. And we hope that they listen to you. But yeah, we're heading out. Alisha, unless did you have anything to say besides you want to go to bed?
I love you guys.
She
Well,
loves you guys.
She loves you guys so much.
I was
Alright,
talking to
guys.
y'all
All right.
too.
Oh, we love you too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we love you too, bitch.
Yeah.
Alright, guys. Bye.
All right, we're heading out. Bye. See you next time.